Okay, hi everyone. So today I just wanted to talk about an experience that I had. I'm a teacher. I teach elementary school students, and today we had a fancy dress competition in our school. So my kids were performing, and when we went into the school itself, it was like we were filled with this emotion, feeling of seeing these little children just coming all dressed up and all very excited. And I heard some stories from another teacher in our school that these students, that her class students were telling her that they woke up at 5, they were not able to sleep. Like this kid was telling her that in front of me and was telling me as well that was telling her in front of me that he couldn't sleep like the whole night. He was so excited. He woke up at 5 and got ready. And one kid went to his friend's house to get him ready and get him dressed. And like at 6, at like 5 something, 5:45 or 6 something, like very early in the morning. So they were like so excited. These are like little kids of AMC school in Ahmedabad, like a underprivileged community. Like we see them as underprivileged, but they don't see themselves as that. For them, it was an experience, a new experience because that was happening for the first time in school. The fancy dress competition, we were all very happy and excited. And as a teacher, what my feelings were here at least, that I would just want them to be happy, for them to know that whatever they're putting on the table is good enough, they're doing great. So yeah, that took me kind of back to my childhood. Like kids were doing their thing, some kids forgot their lines and all that. But when I was little and when I was a student, I used to see some people perform a dance or something, and I am performing a dance, and I'm constantly judging and criticizing myself, thinking that, oh, what that teacher would be thinking, or if I'm not perfect, what other people are thinking. And this continued with me. This even happens till date. Today, when my kids came to perform, I was like, oh my god, if my kids mess up, what will the other teachers think of me? Because some kids have already done like put off brilliant performances, and I did not put that much effort into getting my kids ready for this competition. So I was very nervous. I was like, they will all like blame me and all that. So those performances in general went in a blur for me because I was just like so consumed by fear. And even that was going on, and continuously, like parallelly, this realization was happening that to what my teachers might have thought when I was, or when other kids were performing there on the stage. Maybe somewhere again, when their kids came, they were like just terrified like me that what other teachers will think, because they were also consumed by self-doubt. Maybe, I don't know. But others, maybe when even those teachers only, when other kids were performing, those were not related to them, they might be thinking that, oh, these kids are so excited, or maybe they'd be tuning in with their child or their child's self, or maybe they'd be tuning in with the emotions that that child might be feeling. So I just realized that others not think like we think. Like others might be consumed by their own fears, or others might be thinking completely different things, or maybe in a completely different zone that we are in. So what is this whole self-criticism and judgment all about? And even if some people are judging, and even if some people are thinking from that point of view, they're not going to take it with them to their grave. Like they're not going to keep thinking, it's not going to impact their life very deeply. And even if it is, we can't do anything about it. We did not very consciously create all our thoughts. They just came according to the experiences we felt. The negativity, the positivity just comes. And you are like then connecting the dots and thinking of this whole long cycle that might be continuing these thoughts, and that is just like continuing the chain of overthinking in your head. So isn't perfectionism kind of a, maybe let's not go into that topic here, but I'm just thinking that maybe okay, maybe perfectionism is just like a complete myth, and none of that is real. Like when we would look at some girls, they're like perfectly dancing, and I'd be like, I want to dance like that, or someone is singing so nicely, I want to dance, I want to sing like that. But at the end, what is that? That's like a momentary feeling that does not define me, and that does not define their worth for their entire life. That's just a moment, and I just felt that way in a moment. That doesn't mean that I can't perform like that ever in my life. I can't change. Like I can't change that perspective. Actually, I don't really have to change. I just have to. I feel like I just have to tune in, or I just have to gain some new knowledge, and I will know that thing. I will also be able to do that thing. So, what are we really putting ourselves on? And after all this is done, after all these thoughts are done, you're like, okay, now what am I supposed to do with my life? Because your whole life, this education system kind of has put in your head that you need to please some people. Like whole life, education system is basically, I believe that education system just focuses on making you clerks, because this system was developed at the time of Britishers and they wanted people who can work under them. That's how the education system was established. It was not established the way Rabindranath Tagore wanted it to be established. It was established according to the Britishers. It was not focused on making or cultivating a personality. It was focused on making you a robot who would follow rules and who would be able to perform certain tasks with efficiency. And that's what I feel jobs, corporate jobs, government jobs, anything is all about. It does not help you grow as a person. It keeps you trapped in office politics, surrounded by the same people, thinking what these people are thinking about you, and thinking of strategies that there are certain strategies to succeed in corporate world. If you follow them to a T, you will climb the corporate ladder, whatever that is. Like you need to show that you are available. You need to do these certain things and blah blah. You need to be proactive and all that, like all that things. Honestly, I believe that we are here for so much more. We are here to make our personality shine and tap into our highest potential. So school definitely makes us into pleasers. We are here, we feel like the main authority figure is the teacher. Even I feel that sometimes when my students are standing in front of me and they are trying to answer something, they answer it correctly immediately after they want to go to the washroom, because they are so nervous. And this happened with me as well. Like I remember in 7th grade or in 6th grade, we were doing like divisibility tests, like divisibility criteria, and I remember like the day before I sat to remember, because I wanted to impress this teacher. She was like a very cool, very good looking teacher as well. Like we used to consider her very cool. So I wanted to impress her. And I do believe that a teacher impacts you a lot, because in 7th standard I scored 9 CGPA, which was like my highest in school. So yeah, this teacher was our class teacher. So when I recited all the divisibility criteria, she was like very good, and then I was immediately like, "Mummy, I go to the washroom," and I was very nervous even to ask her, because you are like so scared to step or toe out of the line and maybe like ruin some alignment or make some people angry or whatever, that you hinder your own growth. Like you can't grow in that environment when you are constantly thinking about how that person is going to perceive you. And the highest person to praise was the principal. Like if the principal praised you, that was like you're the king of the world. But when you grow up and you see that whole system in another lens, you're like, okay, those people were running a business. Those people were doing their jobs, and the teachers were equally just as much caught up in the whole matrix as you were. And when you grow up, you kind of are out of the matrix, but still you are like, okay, but I need to pay the bill, so I have to still stay in the matrix. So completely breaking the matrix, I would feel, would be generating your own income streams and just believing in yourself and stutting your own horn the entire time. And I feel freelancers are kind of able to do this to an extent. But the people, the creators, the people who create empires, legacies, like not really empires, but I would say legacy. Like empire is sort of a negative word. I feel you're creating it to make other people jealous or to prove yourself. That's just in my head. But like if you're creating it in a positive sense, something that legacy is more positive, I feel, because it is something that can inspire others to do the same, right? Empire is something like it's mine, you know. But like I feel that people who are able to create legacies, like leave their mark and break free from their own fears to inspire others. Someone who can light a spark in someone else, you know, someone who can pass the baton is the ultimate hero. So yeah, I guess I talked about a lot of things in this video, but these were all the things in my head. For the longest time I was thinking that what is education system and what are we doing? Like I'm watching a lot of JEE and NEET videos these days. I don't know, they just popped up. A few JEE is more sad than NEET, I feel. Like I watched a JEE video and I was like depressed. Like someone telling their JEE story. It's like so many people are giving exams, that same exam, and people get the ranks of like 2000 or something. This gives me Olympiad flashbacks. We used to just participate in Olympiad, give some money of our parents and get those big ranks. And like, oh god, those were hell. Those objective type questions, hate them a lot. So yeah, just this education system and JEE and NEET, like it's a rat race. I kind of distanced myself from this and I kind of thought of it the other way, that the people who are actually passionate and are pursuing these fields, but then you don't need to give that NEET and JEE exam. If you're giving that NEET and JEE for a government college so that you can study these subjects in like low fee, like very low fee, almost for free, then that's best, that's great. Like if you can do that with your potential and with like whatever you have in that time in your hand, if that's not completely stressing you out or if that's not making you doubt your self-worth, perfect, do it. And you're getting, there are benefits, you know, you're getting benefits. But if your parents are putting you in training centers at sixth standard to like kind of train you for this exam thing, just to boost their ego, it's not going to lead you anywhere. That's not going to reap any results, let me tell you that. I see my 5th graders are all into tuitions and they don't even know what chapter is going on in the tuition. So what is that all about? They're studying 5 hours in school, they're again going home, they're sleeping, resting, and then they're like sleeping for half an hour, eating food, and then they're again going for 3 hours in tuition. What are we doing to our like little 10-year-olds? And kids are going in tuition since first grade. I'm like, where do I go? I'm like, please don't put them in tuition. It's just added burden. What are they doing? Yeah, I guess I just wanted to blabber all that out. Yeah. Thank you for listening to that rant, whatever it was. I just want to add one more thing. Like, I feel I'm kind of lucky in that sense that my parents did not push me for tuitions early on, but they were like still very much like they would never be happy. I would always cry in PTMs feeling that I'm worthless. I don't know, maybe it was my fear, but that was not all just my fear, because I would sense that feeling that they were not happy before every month I had gotten, really. But that kind of be my personality type, because my brother kind of grew in the same environment, but he also got sunk into the matrix. He's doing non-medical. Yeah, whatever. I also got into had to get into that whole thing. I got into medical, then it did not work out for me. I was hating it, so I dropped out. And I also got sucked into that tuitions thing at that time. It was helping me, I was getting chemistry. I learned a lot of new things about chemistry. And when I was studying my textbooks, I got a lot of new things about physics as well. So it was working. But if it was not like any pressure situation, if I learn science on my own just because I want to know about matter and all that, then it's going to work for me. But if I'm doing it out of fear and all that, with all that pressure, it's never going to work for me. So yeah, I guess I just want to wrap up saying that pressure and to get pressure to get a certain result. Like I can get the same result if you don't tell me that I have to get the same result. I scored 91.3% in 12th after dropping out of medical, and I didn't pursue humanities, which is comparatively easier definitely, but I scored 4 marks out of 17 chemistry in my 11th grade. So at that point I genuinely thought I was stupid and I thought I possessed no gift. But then in 12th standard that all just changed because no one was expecting anything out of me. Everybody just ignored me and threw me kind of in the trash. I think she's not going to do anything. And that's when I did. So I feel pressure, expectations kill. Just want to put it all out. Thanks for listening to my rant. That's bye.